Hi everyone and welcome. Today will be the first thrift clip video. I just found this dress in the local thrift shop and I saw some potential. So without further ado, let's get into it.
So this is what we're working with. It doesn't fit properly, it's not flattering whatsoever, and it just feels like an old lady's dress. I actually came up with the end result as I was going, but I made a little drawing to give you guys an impression of what the end result will be. So first of all, I'm placing the dress inside out over the doll, so it's easier for me to pin everything in a way that I can immediately transfer it to the sewing machine after. Looking at the dress, I first and foremost want to get rid of the sleeves, so I'm just gonna cut them off. I'm going to pin the bodice to make it smaller. I'm just using the doll its measurements since they're fairly close to mine. I'm pinning it so it's like hugging the doll, and we will sew this into place later. Going back to the sleeves, or well, what's left of it. To make the remaining bodice, like the top part, a little bit more appealing, I think I'm gonna turn it into like straps. But for now they're a bit too big for me, so let's take them in on the top a bit. And then in order to make straps, I'm going to cut a V in the back. As you can see, I'm just using some marker to like create a triangle, and then I'm just gonna cut along these lines. The straps are a bit too wide for my taste, so I'm gonna make them a little bit thinner by just cutting uh, some excess fabric from the sides. Hereafter I'm going to like fold the raw edges over so we can sew these in and like create a hem. And I'm lucky that the front already has a pretty V-line, so I don't have to hem this part.
Yeah.
So now I'm just basically sewing this in, like hemming the straps. I'm not using any pins or like markers or anything. I always use like some predetermined points that I will follow, like on my sewing machine, if that makes sense. So the right side of the hem will follow the outer right side of the sewing foot, and the left side of like the folded fabric will like follow the left side of the foot or another point that I have determined prior, which I will follow. So they are consistent. The hems, that is. I'll be trimming the excess fabric as close to the stitch as possible, so the hem will be as small as possible. This is because the fabric is see-through, so it won't be like pretty if you see the excess fabric, the raw edge of the hem. After this, I'm also sewing the straps to be shorter, just like I pinned them before. And I'll also make the dress smaller by sewing along the lines of the pins I placed earlier when the dress was still in the mannequin. After sewing both of these in, we are just going to cut the excess fabric yet again. However, not as close as to the seam as we did before with like the hems of the straps, because these hems we will finish with a zigzag stitch. This is to make the seams more secure as well as battling fringing. I keep saying we when it's obviously only me that is doing this, but the thought behind these videos is that you guys can do this as well. So it's just like giving you ideas of what to do with like thrift finds. So these are all just ideas and tips you could use, but you don't have to for your next project. But moving on to my little project, I'm still not really content with the straps. I want to make them even more like dainty. So I'm going to make them thinner and more drapey by gathering the fabric on top of the shoulders. I'm doing this by just using some needle and thread and inserting it at one side of the strap and sewing to the other side of the strap and pulling it very tightly. Hereafter, I'll just push my needle a few times through this kind of bulking of fabric that I created, and to like secure it, or however, I'll make a double knot so the thread won't go loose. And as you can see, I'm too lazy to get a scissors. So just another tip, you can use your teeth as well. And because I really like the way this turned out, I'm gonna use the same technique at the front of the bodice, like between the breast. I just sewing from the top of the dress to 10 to 50 centimeters downward from it and pull tightly, but be careful because the thread will easily break because it's only one thread. That's why you'll have to like secure this area more so the thread won't break. I'm doing this by looping the thread over the area I pulled in. So I'm not going like a normal straight stitch because I don't know why actually. It could probably be effective as well, but this is easier and I'm lazy. So I'll just be looping over and under, over and under. Um, yeah, and I just love this so much. It's makes it so much more dainty and cute while also being really flattering when like wearing it on. Oh yeah, by the way, it will hurt your thumb like hell if when you push it in like this, like when there's a lot of fabric gathered at one place. So that's why I'm showing you my very pretty vingerhoedje, as we call in Dutch. Um, I bought it at a local flea market and it's so pretty. Well, I think it's so pretty. I wanted to share it with you guys. So this is the bodice for now. I'm actually content, but I do think it could use a little extra. I'm thinking of using the fabric of the sleeves to make some like little flowy sleeves. I don't know how to call them, so it'll be little flowy sleeves. I'm just doubting whether to start them from shoulder from our shoulder or armpit. But I think I'll go with armpit. To make these, I'm just cutting a little rounded triangle, and then I'm just gonna trace that one so I'll have two identical ones. And then I'm just going to sew along these lines I've just cut, keeping the sides open so I can turn them inside out after sewing. So now we have these little cute double-sided sleeves. I'm just sewing these into the dress by hand because it'll be easier to remove if I'm not happy with the placement. But I'm happy with the bodice now. It looks cute. So I'll be moving on to the bottom of the dress. I'm doubting whether to cut it shorter and make it fitted or like a little bit drapey from the sides. I'm just gonna try it on because I can make up my mind. Okay, after some dancing and whatnot, I decided to make it a little bit shorter. So I'm going to roll it to the desired length and then use some fabric marker to mark I want the bottom of the dress to be. Then I'm going to measure the distance from the marking till the end of the dress, the bottom of the dress, and I'm gonna mark that distance for the whole bottom. Then I'll be cutting 2 centimeters away from this marked line because we will need 2 centimeters for the hem. I'm just going to fold the fabric over so the marking is visible in the bottom, and then I'm gonna pin along the whole bottom. I'm pinning vertically. This is a habit I had to teach myself. I actually always pinned horizontally, but this is way better. Everyone on YouTube and everyone that taught me things told me to do it this way, and they were right. I don't have to remove the pins while sewing, and I can just sew over them. There's probably more positive things to say about this, but I don't know. But I did like I do prefer it now. So this is the end result. It's cute. It's cute. I like it. But I gotta be honest, I wish I would have gone with the draping of the skirt instead of shortening it. It kind of looks like a slutty wedding dress, to be honest. but I do still like it. It's pretty. Don't know when I'm gonna wear it, but had fun. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this, please like and subscribe. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.